All right, I have clicked the button. The podcast is officially starting. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone and everything in between. Welcome to the Alex and Pete podcast, better known as the Stay Positive podcast. I'm Alex.
Coming at you from Boston, same place, same time, same day. And we have a guest. This guest is... I hate this person with every part of my soul. Couldn't hate him more. And
that's why we love to have him here.
Yeah,
Ladies and
exactly.
gentlemen, introducing...
Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ronak, and I'm very excited to be a guest on the Stay Positive podcast.
All right, dude. You hit me with something interesting the other day, and I was pretty excited to talk about this, actually, because this is like... I don't know if you remember, Alex, but everybody in Boston just loves to wear designer stuff in general, like designer clothes. Like, you know, when you were up here, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but Alex went to.
Yeah, you told me. You actually told me last week. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember how everybody walks around with like the Canada Gooses, the Supreme sweatshirts, like all that stuff.
I mean, I remember everyone in like the business school, like everyone that like walked out of there was always either in a suit or was wearing like really nice looking clothes. But
Nice looking, not actually nice.
big quotes around nice. They look interesting. They look different. Let's put it that way.
So anyways, for listeners, whoever's listening to this, the whole purpose of this one's going to be just to completely shit on Hypebeast culture.
No,
not
some of
actually.
them look good. Some of them look good.
No, I'm down to talk about it though. I want to know a little bit about Ronak's perspective on it and like where it came from, kind of like upbringing. What's it called? Yeah, upbringing.
I can give you guys all that information and much more.
Oh my God, man, you're so. I hate you, but hit us with it.
All right, so basically, I've gotten interested in hypebeast culture just because, like, growing up, I always thought shoes were cool. Shoes was, like, my entry point, and it wasn't hype shoes to start. It was like, oh, this pair of sneakers looks hella cool, and it's only $60. But as I got older and older, and especially when it came to college, and I saw people wearing a lot more expensive shoes and starting to understand what that was, just because the way I am, and I kind of like the interesting looks, I started to kind of like hypebeast culture. Not necessarily as much with the clothing, though I'm kind of into it now, but the shoes I was always into. And then because of that, I started doing some research. I'm like, why do these shoes sell out within seconds? People have to write bots for it, and then even though they sell for $100, if I go on StockX right now to buy them, it'll be $800 for just because it's a limited release.
That's true.
And I was interested in why, so I started looking into it a little bit. And basically, hypebeast culture actually started off as a little bit of a counterculture movement. So I know a lot of times right now when we think of hypebeast culture, we think of like very intricate and interesting designs and all of that stuff. But that's not what it started as, especially if you think of like the most classic example of a hypebeast brand, Supreme, right?
Word.
Supreme is famous for just a box logo on just a normal t-shirt, on a normal hoodie.
Dude, yeah, it's all brand. It's like it's brand. It's nothing like even great looking. It's just
right.
Brand.
So and it started like that because it mostly started in LA and London, among like people, skaters, and like that kind of culture who were wearing the high waters, were wearing the beanies, and they felt this simple design was like the opposite of what like Gucci is coming out with, like 6 million, like a shiny silk like metallic pattern on every dress and like t-shirt they make. Like, what the fuck? But so it started off like that and people got into that, but the basic business model of it became the simplest way to think about it. They just limited the supply so much that no matter what, the demand will be greater than the supply. So the way hype clothes are sold, especially in the beginning, not to this point, is that they're dropped on a certain day, like once a season, and they're sold at like not cheap prices, but definitely not unreasonably expensive prices. Like if I went on the Supreme website right now to buy a box hoodie, and like on the day of the drop, it would be no more than $100, $150. But they drop such a small amount of clothes that their brand is built off the exclusivity and the resale and the secondhand sale on websites like StockX, GOAT, and other resellers. And that's how hypebeast culture started. And now the way it has infiltrated high fashion, and I say infiltrated high fashion because like Palace and Gucci have collaborations, Off-White and Nike have collaborations. Like that is how they make money now. Prada is in the same stores as if Prada could get a Supreme collab, they would love to. The Dior Air Force Ones, Jordan 1s are the most expensive shoes currently on the market, and it's literally a fucking collaboration between Dior, one of the highest fashion brands, and Nike, something that every kid like older than 5 years in America knows.
Remember, everybody wanted to be like Mike. That's crazy, bro.
And so the reason that it semi-transitioned from that very simple, like just limited release thing was because, as we know, exclusivity makes interest skyrocket, right? That's just how it is. Palace, Supreme, even Champion now. Like Stussy. Do you guys know Stussy? I'm not sure if you. It used to be sold in Kmart for $15. The hoodies used to be sold in Kmart for $15. Now you can't buy one for less than $100.
What?
But it's just because they realized that that's the brand that they had to turn their brand and structure it like these hype brands for them to be successful in this current market. But because these hype brands have become so successful as part of the counterculture movement, they've become too mainstream. And that's why they have not too mainstream, but that's why the designs are getting more and more intricate, more and more wacky, and more closer to high fashion, because the line between high fashion and hypebeast culture is starting to mesh.
So,
is the quality of this clothes good?
Yes. So I will say, I'm not saying always, and I'm definitely not saying it's worth the amount of money people spend on it, but like in terms of just like pure quality of clothes, yeah, it's good. But it's the same way. Is the quality of like a Gucci t-shirt good? Yeah, it'll last you a while, but does it make it worth an $800 t-shirt? I could buy a t-shirt for $100 that'll still last me the rest of my life.
You sure you don't want some Gucci flip-flops? You don't need that in your life?
No, I definitely do, but I don't have the money for it.
I definitely do need that in my life.
I just don't have the money for it right now.
Respect. All right, wait. So how would you define then a hype brand? Like, what do you think like constitutes that?
It's a very hard question, and and the reason I know it's so hard is because I've tried to explain it to my sister, and she just like doesn't understand. And I was hearing myself explain it to her, and I wouldn't understand if I was her either.
Perfect. So now everybody else you can confuse them.
It's something that looks cheap that costs a lot of money, and it's decent. So it's like the quality is decent, it looks cheap, and it's priced really expensive. There you go. I defined Hypebeast for you.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
That's
only because
that's a little generalized.
I'm thinking of Supreme mainly. That stupid rectangle that is nothing, and you sell that for hundreds of dollars. Like, why can't we do that? Let's make a rectangle.
You can. And Supreme isn't the one who's selling it for hundreds of dollars. It's the person who gets it on the drop.
That's true.
The secondhand. Supreme is not selling their hoodie for an actually unreasonable rate, but they're giving the amount of demand that will make their clothing very sought after, and that's why all their drops sell out within like seconds. Like if you don't have like a bot, you almost can never get any of the really good releases.
Understood.
Word. All right, but yeah, define it for me.
Okay, so
at least a time too.
The way I look at hypebeast culture is, he had it partly right. It's clothing that is like pretty decent, not necessarily amazing, not like brands you would consider, especially like 10 years ago, like the top brands in the world that drop clothes for expensive but not unrealistically expensive price. But when they drop that kind of clothing, the demand and just the quantity of clothing that they sell is less. Mm-hmm. So even if it's not one of the ones that sells out immediately, it'll sell out within a week. And that limited exclusivity, as you go further and further into time, there's less and less of the clothes, so the value goes up. Like currently, I recently bought a Weeknd hoodie, right? Like the Weeknd dropped an album. I'm a really big Weeknd fan. And he released some merchandise that was a collaboration with V-Lone, another like hypebeast brand. And the hoodie was $100, but I'd been working all summer. I saved up some money, so I bought it. Because I wanted to wear the hoodie. Yeah. They sold the hoodie for a week. I went to check 2 weeks after I bought the hoodie and then started wearing it, and the hoodie was selling for $400.
What?
Because it was a V-Lone hoodie.
That's so crazy, man. I couldn't in my wildest dreams just pay $400 for a hoodie.
I couldn't either, but I did sell one for $400.
But like, wouldn't they make more money if they just like sold more? Like, cause more products, more people buy it. No.
But that's not all. The profits are very important, yes. But think of how powerful their branding is. Your branding can't be as powerful as theirs is if you don't have the exclusivity and like the people like want your stuff as bad as they do. If everyone can have a Supreme hoodie, what's the point of a Supreme hoodie?
It's true. It's all just psychological.
It's all psychological.
BS.
100%.
Manipulation, people engineering, social engineering. Is that what it is?
It is. Pete, it really is social engineering. They're literally designing it in such a way. I saw a meme picture or just a picture of like So like you have like a jacket that costs $100 and nobody wants to buy it, and then you take the same jacket, make it cost the same $100, but make it look like the original price was $200 and it's 50% off, and now everyone wants that jacket because they think they're getting a great deal.
Wow.
So that's just one example of psychological warfare.
And then the worst part is if you take that same jacket and take off the original logo, put a Supreme logo on it, you can inflate the price.
$700. Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Sounds about right.
What's your favorite
It's called being
shoe?
smart.
My favorite shoe ever is probably the Sean Wotherspoon Air Max 95s, but I could never afford those shoes. My favorite shoes that I own, I just have a pair of Yeezys. My sister got it for me for my birthday. Bless her. That's about it. Other than that, I have these pair of Dragon Ball Z Adidas EQTs. Have you seen them? They're the black and gold ones.
I haven't actually.
So I think they're pretty sick. So I'm also I'm very into anime. So to me, it was like I get to combine my hype interest with my anime interest. It was perfect. They're called the Adidas EQT Dragon Ball Z Super Shenron.
Probably $1 million it costs nowadays.
That?
Probably costs $1 million nowadays.
No, I can't. It was like $200, I think, on StockX. They were probably released for around like 120. Because as this the other part of it, not everything that's hype is in as limited a release as everything else. They know what will sell. They know what will have the highest demand, and whatever will have the highest demand will use the least supply.
Bro, all right. Alex, you want to know how much these shoes cost, man?
How much do they cost right now? I got them for $200.
$400.
No way! It appreciated double.
That's a real reaction, people. That is.
I bought them probably going into sophomore year of college for $200 as just the shoes I wanted, and now they are $200 for a pair of shoes is not a cheap pair of shoes, but I think it's pretty reasonable. $400 for a pair of shoes is fucking wild.
I mean, that's how much people will pay for Yeezys.
Yes.
P, let's just quit everything we're doing and just stock up on all this stuff, and then in 2 years we sell it for double or triple and be millionaires.
You ever heard of return on investment, man? That's what it is right there. Would you ever buy a pair of Yeezys, Alex?
No.
Why not? You don't want to be part of the $1 billion yay culture?
No.
Just simply no.
Fair answers to say the least.
I have a pair of shoes. They have holes in them. They are 20 years old, but they work.
They do the job, right? You don't need to look like Kanye.
It's true.
Would you ever buy a pair of Yeezys for yourself?
Depends what my financial situation looks like, but yeah.
I'd be willing to be paid to wear them if you want to pay me to wear them.
Of course,
they're too comfy to be paid to wear them. But so that's the other thing. That's the other thing about shoes like Yeezys. Obviously we say in general they're decent technology, all this. You guys know how Ultra Boost, the Adidas shoes, they weren't hype shoes, they were sold at normal quantities, but they were just known to be very comfortable and very bouncy.
Right. I didn't know that.
Okay, so whatever. There's these shoes called Adidas Ultra Boost. They dropped.
I know the shoes, but
whatever. So they there's this Boost technology, right? They're the first shoe that sold it that wasn't in the hype realm. But the reason Yeezy was famous is because they've been employing technology since Kanye first dropped Yeezys, and that they've always been known to be unreasonably comfortable, which is why Yeezys had just as a shoe had so much more clout than some of the other high shoes, because they're so comfortable. But now the technology is being implemented all across his line, so the Yeezys are now much more about the fashion than the comfort.
Did they succeed because they were good, or because Kanye said they were good?
Both.
Both.
Dude, Kanye has a cult-like following, I feel like.
Bro, if you
Didn't
drop
you want to start a religion?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Graduation, if you drop shit like that constantly, I'm not talking about current Kanye. I'm talking late 2000s, early 2010s Kanye. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I will say, that's why this guy has the ego the size of Alaska, man. I mean, respect. Those are great albums.
But even in general, for people that talented, I mean, even NBA players, do you think they could be as good as what they do if they didn't think they were better than everyone else at what they did? I think to be that successful, you almost have to have a mindset like that.
Yeah. And I guess humility is distinguishing whether or not you just tell other people.
Yeah.
And to say it out loud. But, yeah, of course. No, I totally feel that. You have to think you're the best, or else how are you going to be the best?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
What were you going to say, Alex?
What was I going to say? Oh, didn't Kanye want to start a religion on like himself.
Didn't what?
Or no, he wanted to like start a church or something. I'm pretty sure.
Current Kanye's fucking crazy. I don't know what current Kanye's fucking doing. Like, running for president? No, don't do that shit, Kanye.
You don't think he'd win?
I don't want him to win.
You.
Dude, could you imagine?
I said I like Kanye as an artist. I did not say I wanted Kanye to be my president.
Can you imagine Yeezy in office? I really could not.
Jay-Z, Secretary of Defense.
Bro, imagine.
50 Cent, Secretary of the Treasury.
Yeah.
It'd have to be,
oh,
right?
I like that. That's a double entendre. I like that. That's cool. I was gonna say, so do you see any, like, who are the biggest, like, ambassadors for, like, Hypebeast culture? I guess, like, the famous people. Like, who do you think?
Do you guys know who Virgil Abloh is?
Nope.
This is actually going to be great. So Virgil Abloh started this Hypebeast brand called Off-White.
Word.
Which is now one of the most famous Hypebeast brands. And they started off only with clothes. Now they make everything from, like, luggage to, like, they make everything. Yeah, bro, it's everything.
Bro, what?
And Virgil Abloh, as an artist, became so famous that now, even though he started off as the lead designer for a hype brand, he is currently the lead designer of the Louis Vuitton men.
No.
Louis Vuitton
Wow.
men. Google it. It's objectively a fact, and that's what I'm talking about. Hypebeast culture started off as a counterculture movement for artists to show their designs, and it just because of how successful it ended up becoming,
Now it's a mainstream.
now it's
design.
mainstream, which makes it much less fun.
See, like, I had heard of Off-White, but I didn't know that the guy that created it literally designs for Louis Vuitton.
He is the head designer
like
for Louis.
Louis V head designer.
He's the head
The
designer.
head designer for Louis. I like Google it. Like I'm not lying to you. I promise this is 100% a fact.
No, I believe you. That's chief. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy to me. Would you ever buy any of his stuff?
I have an Off-White hoodie, bro.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
What was so special? What does it take? What can we? Let's start one right now. Let's start an off Hypebeast brand right now. What does it take?
I trust Ronak to create the name because I don't really know much about I don't know much about.
You guys can hear the name
what they-
Supreme, Palace, Mastermind, Undercover, Off-White. Name it whatever the fuck you want. V-Loan?
what's a
The
good
fuck does
name?
V-Loan mean?
Is that a name too?
It is a name. It's a name of one of by far the most... Vetements? Oh, that's the name of the design. Vetements is the name of the designer.
Dude.
Panayotti? We could name it Panayotti.
Classic. I wish. You see, that's crazy though. Like, I feel like social media blows this stuff up so much. Also,
So that's
I
the
mean-
other... I agree. That's the other part of it.
throw your
right?
thoughts in.
So Hypebeast culture, if you think about it, it's based on demand. It's based on people talking about it. It's based on exclusivity.
Dude, yeah,
Without
it's
social
all-
media, how do you talk about that stuff? How do you increase
Brand
awareness?
awareness, yeah.
How do you increase awareness for those brands? These like fashion brands were created because we live in a social media world. They were created because of that, but they work because of that.
And yeah, they were like
They
spurred on.
they succeeded because
They
of
said,
it,
well said, they
or
succeeded because of that.
That's crazy.
or their
man.
success was greatly accelerated
Yeah.
due to.
You think that trend will always stay? Do you think it will go away?
I
Because I
mean,
feel like there's a lot of people that just look at, I guess, like the hypebeast clothing and they like just they don't care.
I agree. I mean,
There's
but
so many people. But you know,
do you
also
not,
there's
the same
a
people will
shit
look
ton
at
of people,
Gucci.
yeah.
The same people will look at Gucci, like which is in theory like the best, and say who gives a fuck if it's Gucci. I think it's because of what hypebeast culture has become,
Yeah.
it becomes almost the same point.
Yeah.
And the way I like can confirm that for myself is my sister lives in Jersey City. So last year, I think it was probably February, I visited her, and we went to the Kith store. Kith is one of the largest Hypebeast retailers, not only because they make their own stuff, but because they sell the clothing of other brands.
Yeah.
And I was there, and I was shocked, because I was literally in the room with like 60 to 70-year-old full families, dressed head to toe in like Montclair Off-White, and I'm like, this dude is. I told my dad I bought him an Off-White hoodie. He's like, what? I like cream. I don't like cream. Like that's what he would say. He would think I just meant the color. And now I'm standing around these people who are 70 years old who would normally be wearing like a Dior suit, and they're wearing instead an Off-White hoodie.
It's so
It's
crazy.
weird. Would you call it cringe?
I would call it cringe. This shit is for people our age, not for old people.
Fair enough.
Dude, yeah, I can't see my parents wearing a freaking like just a Preem sweatshirt. I can't.
But so back to the point you were making, whether you think this will last forever. I don't even think what hypebeast culture was at first when it was first defined is what it is anymore. I don't think it's the same thing. I think maybe
Why?
at the very ground roots it is, but like we were talking about, if high fashion, if it's not a counterculture anymore, it's not what it started as.
Do you think, like, is it possible? Like, what would modern day counterculture look like nowadays? Like, before it was like against what was mainstream, but right now it feels like anything is mainstream. Like TikTok, like you just look at stuff like TikTok and Snapchat. It's just like you can be the stupidest, most dumbest idiot in the world, and you'll still be famous. So like nothing is unique anymore.
I can agree with that. I would the way I was talking about this with some of my other friends recently, actually, about like what is really counterculture anymore, because it used to be like 60s, 70s hard rock, punk rock, right? Like the stuff that just is like
That's a fact.
completely against what this establishment wants, what they want them to say. And then for a little, it just was so many, it's just whatever was against mainstream. But like you're saying, now with social media, anyone can make what they want mainstream. Anyone can make what they're interested in mainstream. So I think it's become things that are almost taboo to talk about, and it's become kind of toxic in that way. Like I think people who are alt-right, like fascists, would think of like alt-right trolls and people like, do you know the what like demographic I'm talking about? The very small demographic is the people who know they don't necessarily agree with everything that like the right says, but they believe all the conspiracy theories. They think all this stuff just because they think they're smarter than everyone else.
Okay.
And I would say that is one of the things that people see as counterculture now, because it's just so against what society considers normal. But I'm not saying that's like other countercultures where you're exposing the correct parts of society. This is a counterculture where you're taking some of the worst parts and telling yourself you're smarter than everyone for believing them.
That's just counterproductive.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's I never thought of it like that, honestly. Like counterculture.
Maybe Pete. I think we're counterculture. The Stay Positive.
We're a
podcast, I think.
counterculture. How are we a counterculture?
We are counterculture, Pete, because we're not a bunch of attention-seeking, bright neon color wearing, mouth frothing chimps. You know what I'm saying? We're just low key. We're relaxed. We're chill. We're going against being popular.
That's true, man. Positivity is not commoditized, which is kind of shitty, but it's fine. We're gonna make that happen.
We're gonna be the ones that sell positivity in a can.
What I guess what other things besides like the sweatshirt, the jacket, the shoes do you say like people are attracted
Please
to?
subscribe to the channel, by the way.
All these clothes, because I feel like I don't know. You see, I mean, yeah, the Gucci flip-flops, the rings, whatever. Like, yeah, like I said, it's so normal. And Alex said this before. It's so normal to just walk down Com Ave and literally look at so many people wearing Canada Gooses.
I mean,
would you call that part of like a hypebeast culture? I don't know if I
100%.
would. Really?
Because it's not driven by the exclusivity. But as I said, hypebeast culture is evolving to become more and more like high fashion. I would definitely say Canada Goose and Montclair jackets are high fashion for jackets.
Okay. Because, dude, I mean, Alex, you remember, I literally every single person that goes to the school, I see them with one. Even Ronak has one.
No, I do not. The fuck?
What do you mean? That's such a lie.
Wait, when have you ever seen me wear a Canada Goose jacket? Never. Literally never. I don't own a Canada Goose jacket. I do not have the money to spend $1,000 on a Canada Goose
I'm a
jacket.
fake friend, man. And stuff.
I fucking guess so.
yeah.
What were you saying, Alex?
These people, they don't know how to be a college student. They need to look homeless, disheveled, and wear nothing but sweatpants. You know.
Eat only ramen.
Eat only ramen. That's the real college experience.
Lifestyle, man.
That's
how it's done.
That is how it's done. You need to stress out 8 out of 7 days a week.
What's your favorite hypebeast brand?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's hard to pick a favorite, but I would probably say one that I don't even own anything from. It's called Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of like the OG original ones from London that to this day are just very simple designs, and I really like the design.
Wait, what was the first one then?
I don't know what the first... Supreme is the biggest or very first one, but I don't know what like technically the first one was off the top of my head.
I mean, it used to be like just like Ronak said in like the 90s, just a bunch of skater people wore it because it looks nice, but it's not high... At the time, it wasn't high fashion. It was more like the rebellious look.
Exactly.
Whereas now it's cool to be a rebel, so it lost all its meaning.
I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what I couldn't have said it better in like 2 sentences than Alex just said it. That's amazing.
Apparently Supreme is kind of the
First.
It's like the hipster phenomenon. It's like everyone.
Hipster phenomenon.
No, because like when I was in high school, like there were so many people that wanted to be hipsters, and it was just like the whole point of being a hipster is to be unique and stand out. But they're all wearing the same plaid shirt, lumberjack outfit. So I'm like, you all look the same. You're not. Your like whole mission is to stand out, but you're all the same. You're missing the point.
But Alex, bro, if you're hipster, why does it matter?
It's true. They do what they want, but what they want isn't unique. That's the irony.
What do you think that hipster fashion came before or after Hypebeast?
No, I'm just saying it's like a different variation. I'm sure the word hipster didn't exist in the 90s, but
To me, Alex, I think Alex is dead right. I think it's a different version of what started as a counterculture, and then it, especially with social media, it became very cool to rebel. So being a hipster became very cool. Also, one more quick tidbit before I forget about Virgil Abloh. He actually has a civil engineering degree. That is what his education is.
You're lying.
I forget what school. I think it's in HBCU. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
This is definitely like public information.
Yeah, just Google Virgil Abloh. Just Google Virgil Abloh. If you Google Virgil, his name will be the first one that comes up. I guarantee you that.
Engineers are useful to society. Be the first. Ronak's an engineer too, by the way.
Okay, so we have
so we understand
2 engineers who will be future fashion designers, billionaires.
Yeah. Also, that was a stupid question by me before because hipster kind of derived itself from like the hippie culture, and obviously hippie culture came before. Like that was the 60s, bro. Can you imagine yourself like? I mean, you can't because you can't grow your hair long. But could you imagine me, just because my hair's a little longer now, like with hair down my shoulders, peace sign shirt, little.
The worst thing is, I could absolutely imagine it, and I never want to picture that again.
P, you can pull off the hippie look.
I know, that's why I don't want to imagine it.
I'm not.
We wouldn't be friends anymore, but you could do it. You could.
Well said, Alex. Well said. Yeah, I wouldn't talk to you anymore, but you could do it.
Yeah, hipster is just modern day, I guess, hippie, right?
No, I think.
Well, that's what they wanted to be.
Oh. Okay.
But what do you think it's evolved into? Not that.
I mean, can something be counterculture if it's mainstream?
That's the question of the century.
Dude, that's like the underlying thing behind all of this, though.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't have an answer. I don't really have an answer to that, but that is the question.
Can a rebel be a rebel if he's mainstream? That's who knows? Maybe it's a cycle. Maybe everyone will like be a rebel, and then the counterculture for that will be civilized again to like wear suits and ties and those dollar hats or whatever, and just fedora wears, and just that'll be mainstream in like 20 years.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Do you guys enjoy the feeling of getting dressed up? Like, if you're going somewhere where you have to wear a suit, do you enjoy how you look? Do you like? I feel so good about how I look when I put on like a well-fitting suit.
Always.
Like, once I become an adult and that is an option, and I have enough suits that fit me properly, because I currently have like one-ish. I think it's such a good fit. I think you look so much better, and I feel that's why. So I walk in today, and I like usually, especially through most of my college life, I've been hoodie and joggers for like everything.
Dude, literally same. I mean, to be fair, I'm quote unquote athlete, so
yeah, I'm not even an athlete. I'm just an asshole.
But it's comfortable.
So I agree.
It's so comfy.
But especially because of COVID, I spend so much time in my room. I've been feeling really bummy because it's not even just like I wear sweatpants and sweatpants wherever I go. I don't even go anywhere. So now, whenever I end up leaving my room, this probably the last week I started doing this, I try and dress like a real person. like currently, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, sweater over, and khaki joggers. Like
That's true. He looks like
I have never walked into Pete's apartment looking like this. Yesterday, I was wearing a collared shirt, like a quarter zip over it, and a pair of chinos, and I wasn't uncomfortable.
Let me just say that he looks like he just came off his shift at the investment bank, and he like his iced latte from Starbucks didn't hit the right way.
Bro, I got Dunkin' in front of me. You're really gonna put Starbucks on me right now while I have fucking Dunkin'?
You look so. It's funny the way you're dressed. Because like I said, you never dress like that, and I never dress like that either. And so actually, this is crazy because whenever people see me dressed up, they're like, "This is weird. Like you look good," and I was like, "I know it's weird."
So Alex, what are your thoughts on when you get all dressed up, like in the suit or whatever? Do you feel good? Do you enjoy it?
I mean, I enjoy it for the occasion. Like, I mean, like when I'm going for like an interview or stuff. Usually, I'm probably not focusing on how I look.
Not the same. Fair, very fair point.
But
fair
like,
point.
if I ever went to like a dance or something or an event, and I'm wearing like a nice suit and tie, or a nice suit and tie, have my hair cut, shaved, where I love wearing the nice dress shoes on like plywood floor. It's clean. It feels so good to walk on.
I agree 100%.
Just the snap, like the sound of the shoes, like not clapping, but like tapping on that floor is it's pure.
Yeah,
it's pure.
Leather snapping. Yeah, I feel that. I do, dude. I actually love dressing up in a good suit though. If you have a good suit, you don't need anything more than like 1 or 2 good suits, and you're set. You can literally just rock it as well as like. Also takes confidence, to be fair.
Yeah, to pull a suit off, you gotta like know you look good in the suit,
or at least walk like you think.
Yeah. I know I don't look good, but I walk like I think I do.
That's facts.
But I also recently did I tell you about the place I got my suit recently? It's called Indochino. It's this shop on Newbury Street. So I was looking for a place to get a new suit because my suits don't fit me very well.
That was like a year ago, I thought.
It was last March, right before COVID. I bought it.
Ah, okay.
So my cousin used to go to med school here at BU, and I was talking to him. I'm like, oh, I'm looking into buying a new suit. He's like, you should check out this shop called Indochino on Newbury Street. So the suits are fully custom tailor made, but they're like made in China and fabric is from China. So if I bought one of the ones on sale and I got a fully tailored suit, which includes like the tailoring and trimming after it comes, for $200.
What the heck? Why didn't I needed to know about this?
Because it's usually it's probably $350, but if you go when there's sales, and there's always a sale, just like there's at least 20 fabrics that you can get for like $200 to $250 for a fully tailored suit that fits you perfect. My suit has my fucking name on it right here, and I got to choose the lining inside and the lining around the buttonhole. I got to choose if I wanted it a little bit gray. I wanted to choose if I just wanted the same color as the rest of the suit. And I'm like, I will never care about this for the rest of my life, but the fact that I just got to choose is sick.
All right.
That's crazy.
Indochino, Newbury Street?
Yeah, I think they're like in New York now too. They're like everywhere, but it's
actually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We really just dropped some free marketing for them. So
yeah, fast.
Go
check them
Yo,
out.
corporate sponsor.
Corporate
Stay
Yo,
positive.
right.
Indochino,
why
please sponsor Stay Positive. Thank you.
No, but I feel like would you ever wear glasses like just
I wish, low-key.
Rims with no lenses.
No. So I've gone to the eye doctor, because first off, everyone in my family has like terrible eyesight. I'm not talking like they have kind of bad eyesight. Like both my parents are objectively blind. My
Wow.
sister's eyesight is just deteriorating constantly. So my parents make sure I get my eyes checked every year, and never once have I not had 20/20 vision. And I low-key just want a little bit so I can have glasses, because I think I could pull off like a good pair of glasses so well. I think especially with like a suit or like fully dressed up, I think a good pair of glasses looks so good. But I will never be the dude to wear glasses if I don't need glasses.
I feel like no, you definitely would. You would try to pull off the rims no lenses look.
I wouldn't do it because I think I would get roasted too much by everyone I hang out with.
But it's
That's the
fine.
reason I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we would literally light you on fire. But it's fine, dude, because I mean, like I said with the suit before, you literally all you have to do is just act like you.
Yeah,
think
you
look
know,
good.
you have to know you look good to look good.
Yeah, it's nothing more than that. What's like another weird clothing item that's kind of popularized nowadays? Because like the rims no lenses thing is kind of popularized for reasons I could not tell you.
Wait, what?
Like, dude, glasses.
As like just fashion, glasses as like
Glasses
clothing
without
accessories rather
lenses.
than the fact that you need to see.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Well, it's what people like. I mean, that's not stupid.
The whole point of glasses.
It's just like a thing.
The whole point of glasses is to improve your vision because people struggle with that, and now you turn that into a fashion sense.
I mean, trends are trends, bro.
Low-key, I kind of fuck with it because I'm sure in like the 50s, people got shit on for wearing glasses. And now it's a fit. Like kids in high school and stuff got shit. Not in high school, probably. In like elementary school, middle school. Probably got called four eyes. I know people called people four eyes at my high school. I'm not saying it's right, but it's becoming fashionable. So how can you make fun of someone for glasses?
I don't know why you would ever make fun of someone for glasses. I don't know.
I know, but kids suck. I've made fun of kids for so much less useless shit than that when I was in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And I got made fun of for way worse shit. Bro, I would open my lunch of Indian food and everyone that I sat at the table would be like, ew. And now I'll offer them anyone, oh, you want my mom's dinner? And they'll be like, fuck yeah, I do. That's just how kids are.
I know, man. That's crazy. Ronak condones all bullying.
No, I don't condone all bullying. I condone a very specific form of character building bullying.
I love it. That is
the way I would drive that point home is Pete freshman year was a little bit chubby.
Oh my god.
Just a little bit chubby.
Oh my god.
And we were terrible to him. Like the worst people. And Pete came back after freshman year and fucking jacked and everyone was like, fuck.
Is that real, Pete?
Character building bullying, bro.
It
Is all I have to say.
wasn't you guys.
Did they make fun of you, Pete?
Maybe 0.01% was you guys.
All I needed is any percentage, bro. If it wasn't 0, you take the dubs.
Hey, man. I'm living my life now. That's fine.
You also, when I say character building bullying, it has to come with the fact that you don't mean anything bad by it. You're just making fun of your friends. It's not actually bullying.
Yeah,
that's
totally
fair.
true.
You know, that
It's not actually bullying. It's just fucking with your friends over things that low-key they could improve and it would help them.
Yeah, that's what good friends do. You point it out in the hopes that they at least recognize it, because it seems a bit mean to just ignore it and be like, yeah, you're not fat. It's like, no, but now he's not.
No, but also we say fat like he didn't play tennis year-round and was in very good shape. He just wasn't like fucking jacked.
I wouldn't say I'm jacked.
Not jacked, not very toned.
Toned,
is a better way
that's
to
the
describe
word.
it. Toned is the word. I also like, and when I say character building, I mean like if I posted like a video of me singing along to a song on my Instagram story, if I didn't get 10 replies immediately, you fucking idiot, I like wouldn't feel okay about my friends. Like the fact that they let me do that and didn't say a word about it, I was like, really, you're the ones who are supposed to be my friends? I'm gonna roast you if you do this shit, so you better tell me if I shouldn't be doing this shit.
No, it's actually very true. Yesterday, Ronak sent me something, and I ripped him a new one for a solid, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's deserved.
That's what friends do, though. Like, if you have a close buddy of yours that, you just know you can just rip into them for literally the most insignificant reasons, then there's something good there.
That's
I feel like that's, real friendship,
That is
right?
real friendship.
I mean, you could still kind of be super nice to a person. So me and Alex aren't real friends. We're just kind of super nice to each other every once a week. but basically yeah, you could just go roast your buddies. That's a fun time.
They're not supposed to know that, P. We need to keep the illusion going.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's true. I give you a lot of crap for being.
But I deserve
super
I
skinny.
am extremely skinny, to the point where I don't have as much muscle as I should at my age. I'm not in a good percentile.
What are you, 6'2"?
I'm 6'1" and I weigh 145 pounds. That is not enough. But it's the way my metabolism is, and I do my best, but I'm also lazy. So if my friends don't give me shit about it, I won't do anything about it.
I still give you shit, but you don't do anything about it anyway.
Yeah, I've become desensitized, especially over the 4 years of college, super desensitized. Because in high school, I never really got shit, because I'd put on the weight when I had to for football season. Now I never have a reason to actually put in the work to put in the weight, and I also never have as much time as I used to have over high school summers. So those two combined, just I give no fucks anymore.
And then imagine when you actually have to go to work.
Yeah, when I am literally working whatever job I probably am gonna start off having will be 8 to 10, 8 to 8 at minimum. And it's oh yeah, so I'm gonna go to the gym now. But that's why I started running. I didn't run today because I was but in general, I've still been doing my 5K a day.
All right.
Respect.
You want to join me and Pete on the ultra marathon?
I do not. I definitely do
not.
That's
true.
My life bucket list definitely has running a marathon on it, not an ultra marathon.
Dude, an ultra would be fun.
Fun word? That's the word you picked?
If you wanna go on a quest, just a vision quest.
Spiritual adventure.
Yeah, I'm gonna unlock my third eye just running 100 miles in one race. No, dude. I mean, those things are kind of like way out there though. Those things are tough. So
Ronak, don't worry about it. Pete told me that the definition of an ultra marathon is just more than a marathon. So if you run one extra step
Yo, I
after...
can do 26.3?
Yeah,
that's literally what we said. That's what we're gonna do.
that's what I'm going to do. Pete's going to keep going, but...
Alex,
No.
I'm kind of down. I'll fuck with it. I'll do that with you. I'm down. Fuck this.
Sweet, dude. Let's do it next year when the world stops ending itself.
I'm tired of the world ending itself, boys.
Yeah, I feel that. Anyways,
With all that being said, Ronak, it was lovely to have you on here and to...
I very much appreciate you guys
Toss
having
that.
me on.
we have so many nicknames for him. It's hilarious.
Finish with, sorry, Alex, what were you saying? I kind of cut you off and he kind of cut you off, too.
It's okay. It's Pete's fault. It was lovely to have you on, Ronak, and to all of our lovely audience listening in, don't be sheep, invest in Hypebeast, and
Don't be sheep.
and we leave you with our go-to signature phrase. Ronak, what do we tell our audience to always do?
Stay positive.
Love it.
Perfect. See you guys.